Hi, I'm Shay Oliver. Welcome to the Priority Paradigm. I'm sharing stories of amazing people who've made radical changes in their lives for something more important. Today, I'm with Rocky Detwiler, and he has an awesome story to share with us. So without further ado, Rocky, tell us your story.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you. Well, I think the simplest version was that I actually chased the dream that I had when I was a kid, and that was to retire early. And I was able to do that, Jay, by investing some money that I had acquired through the real estate industry with a close friend of mine, grew that money, and then ended up kind of retired, just living on the interest of the money till I get a phone call one night from the Arizona Corporation Commission that I had been a victim of one of Arizona's largest Ponzi schemes that actually was run by my friend I invested with. So he and his partner, embezzled millions and millions of dollars through this Ponzi scheme. I was one of those victims. So the wake of what that left was nothing less than tragic, just a tragic relationship, of course. They ended up in prison. I ended up losing my home and land and my possessions, ended up moving out of state for work, and moved in with a friend. He moved out of the house I moved into because the home was in foreclosure. So I lived as a squatter in this home for a year, ended up becoming a fat, depressed, alone guy that, wanted just to end my life and commit suicide. And so it was a dark, rainy night that decided to change my life and decided I wanted to live and never give up. And that's when kind of part of my story begins, is kind of the line in the sand, so to speak, where I was at a crossroads in my life where I decided that I wanted to live and not die. The first thing I did was I transformed my physical body, which also started assisting in my mental capacity, started gaining my confidence back. I ended up moving to Idaho, lived in my brother's treehouse for a year. So I kind of lived homeless for a couple of years. And through this whole process, it taught me the art of being grateful, being grateful that I was alive, being grateful that I had a roof over my head. And so I then ended up really focusing on what it was that got me there. It was the power of words. I realized that at that time I was seeing Gothic scripts and images and wording on shirts. And I thought, you know what? Here I am at the darkest place in my life. Words, positive words, uplifting words, encouraging words. That kind of saved my life, right? Thinking about strength, thinking about overcoming, thinking about being courageous, thinking about those positive words. And I thought, I'm just going to start a company that way. And so I put positive words on apparel like I'm wearing now. And I've been doing that for the past 8 years. This is once more. So it's and then we developed out my wife and I developed out a life and leadership company. Now we fly around the country training people. So here was a guy that lost everything because he had a dream. And then I had to realize I had to rewrite the entire script of my life. So yeah, I went from having everything to losing everything to going, what do I want to do with my life now, right? I was living in a treehouse just a few years ago. And now, I get paid money to speak on stages of big companies and corporations. So yeah, I changed my life. And because I did that, now I inspire people around the world.
Wow. A quick, fast version of a rough ride.
Yeah. I know, right? So that's a little bit, and so your introduction about people that want to change their life. Listen, here's the deal, is that we're the only creatures on planet Earth that can tear up an old script in our life and rewrite it, right? I mean, seriously, if we want to leave Idaho today, I can leave Idaho today, pack up the family, and I can move to Hong Kong, right? I could do that if I wanted to, right? I could move to Delaware. I could do something completely. If I don't want to be a sales guy, I don't want to be a marketing guy, I can go do something completely different in life, right? I can go teach. I can go train something. I can, whatever, right? I mean, I can do whatever I want to do because we're the only human beings. We're the only life force on Earth that can do that. Everything else, it's in their genetic code. It's in their DNA, right? Why does a goose fly south? Because it's a goose. It's wrote in its DNA, man.
It's got to. It doesn't have a choice.
What's beautiful about us humans is we can change whatever we want to do, and sometimes we get locked into, hey, you're because of the money you're making or because of a relationship or whatever. Listen, if it's not going right, you can move out. You can change it anytime you want, right? Fear keeps us locked in more than most things. So yeah, I believe in what you're doing because it's a strong message out there. A lot of people aren't happy. 80% plus of people are very unhappy with their job situation. They're not content with it.
Yeah,
Move. Go do something different. Your life isn't long enough to just stay in a place where you're not happy. Go be happy. Go get happy doing something you like to do and you're good at.
absolutely.
Yeah, there's a fear factor in it, but listen, right now, in employment, you can go get employed somewhere else. People are hiring. They want your skill set. They want your talents and abilities. So, I hope this helps, so you got to take over and ask some questions or I'll keep going.
Okay, very cool. All right, so one of the things that just totally caught my attention when you were talking about it was the power of words.
Yes, that's my specialty. That's what I'm an expert at.
I absolutely love that. Actually, I have a very similar story and a very similar background in studying actually all the way back to ancient rhetoric, which kind of scares some people. But tell me how you reached your understanding of how powerful words are. What were the things happening to you in your life and in your mind and in your heart that suddenly made you look at them differently?
I was in an event where I saw, I don't know how many people, but long sleeve shirts. And they had these Gothic images and they had these Gothic words on them. And Affliction is one company and Affliction. I was like, gosh, it sounds like kind of, and just different brands that I just thought that didn't represent what I wanted in life, and that was positive things and happy things and good things. Mm-hmm. And so I started thinking, how come there's no company out there that has like positive words, inspirational words on apparel? How come nobody's doing that? And I just thought, words saved my life, as I just shared with you.
Right.
It wasn't one specific word. It wasn't one specific moment. It was over time that I started really thinking about how powerful words rate and tear down life. Right? Bless and curse, which bring life, and they bring death. They actually bring death. Like, you could just tell someone you hate them, and they go out and kill themselves. You could tell somebody that they don't matter and they're idiot, they're stupid, or they're ugly, or whatever those mean, horrible, nasty words are that people will say to themselves more than anybody else. Mm-hmm. and to other people, right? If they're angry or mad, those words don't leave because you just sowed a seed of negativity into their life. You planted that seed, and sometimes they take root, and that's why the prisons are filled, man, of people that are very angry and have had negative derogatory words spoke over their life. So I'm like, hey, I'm on the positive side. Takes the same amount of energy, same amount of words, right? But they will uplift you. They will encourage you. They will inspire you. Why not wear them? And so that's what we do. We co-brand with companies, man, that have great core values and great mission statements. And we say, let's put those words on you. And so, yeah, there wasn't anything specific, Shay, but it was over a period of time, and now I've immersed my life in it. We wrote a book on it called The Samson Effect, Transforming Lives with the Power of Words. And so that's our book, and I stand behind it. We've had people say it's one of the greatest success books they've ever read. And it's interesting, this story is because I met him in New York City at a publicity summit, and he has interviewed some of the greatest success authors in the world. And he read my book from New York to New Jersey on the train home and said, Rocky, this is the greatest success book I've ever read. So yeah, it's a great book on transforming the way you think to your words become your actions, become your habits, then those become your lifestyle, how you live your life, Shay.
Very cool. So, hey, let's step back, because I'm absolutely with you on this. So part of what you're talking about is not just those words that come at you. It's that replay inside. It's what you do with them in your internal dialogue.
Saying to yourself, it's the recording you're playing, yes.
Yeah, it's that internal dialogue. How do you recommend, and how do you personally shift the negative dialogue and overcome it?
Over time. It's day by day by day by day process. So one of the things we put together was a journal called the Gratitude Journal. And when we first put this out, I couldn't find anything on Amazon. So this is a product that we now have on Amazon. It's called The Grateful Journal by Samson Life. And so this is the way it is that you're thinking a certain way, You're thinking about yourself a certain way consistently over and over. You're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're saying something to yourself every day you look in the mirror. I'm too fat. I weigh too much. I'm not beautiful enough, whatever those negative words are. And most of us think those sort of things. I did, definitely. And so the way you transfer from the negative to the positive is a daily process. And so one of the things we had people do is journal. Right, great. It's a great thing to do. So I'm thinking negative thoughts. So my thoughts are like a river going in a certain direction, one direction. In order to change the directional flow of that river, I need to think of something differently to change the directional flow of my thoughts. And so that's done one day at a time. So we had people just write 3 things they were grateful for just today. That's it. I just want you to do 3 things you're grateful for today. Okay? And so, and then write 2 sentences about something positive that happened to you today. You woke up. You had a pillow underneath your head, okay? That's positive, right? I slept. I had water to drink. Just start with the simplest thing you possibly can, okay? I can walk, whatever it is. And then tomorrow, you do 3 new things and 2 more sentences of positivity. The next day, 3, you see what I'm doing? Every day, it's consistency. I'm rewiring what I'm thinking about, changing the directional flow of the river, which is my thoughts. And you know what? Before time, I'm not doing 3 things anymore. I'm doing 4. I'm doing 5. I'm literally thinking about all the things in life I'm grateful for, rather than all the things I'm not grateful for and the things I don't have. That's how you start, because it begins in your thoughts. Then it begins in your words, and now you write it down.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that. That's awesome. So,
Thank you.
As you go through this process,
yes,
you actually started this process in a treehouse of where you started being grateful.
I did. I went to sleep. I lived there for a year, and I literally, I don't know how many hundreds of days it was in a year, but a high percentage of that time, I went to bed with tears in my eyes of just being grateful. I had a roof over my head. I had a place to stay. And why that is, I don't know. I don't know if I could go back and just try and relive that. I don't know. But I just knew that I was grateful. I went to bed being grateful and thankful.
Very cool. So did you, during this transitional period, one of the things I want to ask is, how much more did you become in touch with the way that you were feeling as you went through this process of being grateful and getting deeper and deeper into gratitude? Did you become more connected with yourself of how you felt?
Yes. Even today, 8 years later, I still am. In fact, it's something that Cheryl and I, my wife and I, we had this almost every day. And we talk about our words, about how we treat others. We talk about, that we have in our life. And, we have, with all of us, some triggers in our off conversation from our past that comes up in some form or fashion, right? I don't know anybody that doesn't. And if you don't, well, hey, good for you. But I'm human and I have some triggers. And so in order to overcome those, we actually have to talk about those, discuss those. But then we have, how do we solve this? Okay, I say something. And so this is a continued work in progress, and it always will be. My parents were married for 60 years, and guess what? They have their challenges and arguments. I know, because I've seen them, right? These have a great relationship, but I'm like, sweetheart, I love the relationship. How about if we start thinking about us as a couple and working together? We also teach and train this same thing. So I'm not sharing anything with you. We don't do ourselves and apply ourselves, but it's every day I'm working on this shit. Every day I'm conscious of what I'm saying, and every day I'm doing my best to be conscious of what I'm thinking, because I know if I'm thinking that, then my words are going to come out, and they're going to be negative and if I'm thinking the wrong thing. So I've got to be cautious of what I'm thinking, right? I don't want to be going down a rabbit hole that's negative and not positive, and the Bible does say, think on these things, and the things you're supposed to think about are positive, uplifting, encouraging. Nothing in there is destructive at all. Right? There's an enemy out there, and that enemy, his goal is to deceive and destruct and to cause pain and to cause suffering. And if you allow him, he comes through your mind, and then it'll start to show up in your words.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me take you a little further back to the real estate expert.
Okay. I don't know if I was a real estate expert, but go ahead. Maybe you, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you made a whole lot of money in real estate, so you had some expertise, absolutely. You had a dream of retiring young.
Uh-huh.
What was the most important thing in your life during that period?
Time freedom. I wanted to be able to do what I wanted, when I wanted, with who I wanted to do it with.
Has that changed?
Yeah. Well, it has changed because, then I had a motorhome and, and all the fun things in life, right? Because I love just having fun. I really just want to ride motorcycles and snowmobile and ski and play. I really just want to enjoy life. And, if I wanted to go somewhere, I could do it. So that part of life was awesome. But now I have a mission. My message turned into my mission. So now I've got this mission to share, what we've been able to create and develop, which is the power of words, and take it to that next level, if you will. And I really have taken the power of words to the next level. You don't see nobody in the world doing this at all. You don't see anybody co-branding with big billion-dollar companies to get them to wear their core values. You see you can see their logos, but that doesn't do anybody any good. When you research the development, research the power of words on plants and on rice, and not a whole lot on people yet, but you can see it on things like that. It changes them. It takes a small little plant and bam, because of words, right? Same thing happened to rice. I cooked up rice, negative words on one, positive words. The negative words over here, literally, now it's all moldy and nasty looking. This over here still looks like rice. That's true. That's what the power of words do. We've taken it to the next level and just started wearing them. And so, yeah, this is something that we live and we coach about. So I have this whole new, purpose in life, and that's to help transform lives and companies and corporations, to get them thinking about the power of positivity through the power of words in their life. So yeah, do I still want to play and have fun? Oh yeah, buddy, absolutely. In fact, now when we teach and train, like we just got back from New York on Sunday, and when we went out there, we went down Times Square, we went to go see a comedy, and but at the same time we were working. So we now implement fun stuff in all of our trainings and all the things that we do. We take the time off, and so that's really important. These people that are grinders and I'm not saying I don't grind, but I mean people that are workaholics. Come on, man. We don't live long enough just to work. That's all our life is about. And if you love your work, I get that. But listen, take some time to smell the roses. Take some time to really enjoy breathing and the outdoors. And anyways, I love life.
I'm 100% with you.
And I love connecting. I love connecting people. And so, yeah, I feel really blessed. And we're only going to keep growing and developing out our business model to help as many people as we can. In fact, now we're on a journey to help people monetize their message. I've helped people transform their lives, right? Now we're going to help people monetize their message. They have a book or they're a speaker, and we're going to help them make money.
Sweet. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So let's go back as you're starting to transition out of that treehouse. You start to build a vision of what you want to do to change your life.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about what that vision first looked like.
Well, in the tree, really, it was a matter of day-by-day process. I was just coasting through life, maintaining my body fat that I had lost. I'd lost like 47 pounds, and I kept hitting the gym. I was being grateful. No big ideas popped out at that time. It wasn't until I moved out of the treehouse that the story came to transform, my life, because I hit the gym and I ended up losing a bunch of body fat. Became a bodybuilder, right? Essentially, I just had a ripped figure, looked really great. But that took some dedication, and so I had this fat, depressed guy over here, and then I have this like bodybuilder looking guy over here. And when you look at the tree, you're like, are those guys the same guy? Like, yeah, this guy over here is like warmed over death, and this guy over here looks like he'd be on the front cover of Fitness magazine, right? And so two totally different guys, same guy, different stories, right? For sure, two different stories. And so the guy over here, I got posted on a online forum, and it went viral. And, millions and millions of people around the world saw my story. And that's kind of how I started my company, was by that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So today you work with people who want to change their lives.
I want to work with people who want to change their lives and monetize their message. And and make money doing it. So yeah, essentially those are the two types of people, right? I mean, I just got contacted by a school that wants us to come in because I work with schools. Last week we were with a charter school in New Jersey, and I was in contact with some people in New York City that we're going to be a speaker for a couple of different direct sales marketing billion-dollar companies. So as speakers, and we do workshops. We specialize in doing workshops and on these very things that we teach and train.
So give me the short form of the advice you give to people who want to change their life.
Yeah, it begins in your thoughts. So what I would do is I just get kind of clear about what it is you want to do with your life. I would absolutely get clear on what it is, right? Because listen, I live in Boise, Idaho. I want to go to New York City. Right now, when you get up in the plane, there's this little thing that the pilot, I don't know what it's called, right? But the pilot set it so it takes you direct to New York, right?
Right.
If we wanted to go the way the crow flies. Now, if I'm off 1 degree, I'm going to be like in Cuba, right?
Eventually.
1 degree, okay? That's the difference. But my point is there's a map. There's a way that will take us to the direction we want to go. Where's the direction you want to go? What do you want to do with your life? That's one of the things I'd ask. What is it you want to do? Where do you want to go? I don't know, Rocky. I want you to think about that. What is it you're good at? What you want to sing? Do you want to write? You want to write a book? Do you want to speak? You want to do a workshop? Do you want to run a marathon? Do you want to travel? What do you want to do with your life? You got to be thinking about that stuff, because if you don't, someone else might help you figure it out. And they're going to be probably somebody at your work, because they're just going to own you. Right? And so what is that you want to do with your life? So I get kind of clear on that. What is your reason for doing what you're doing? Mm-hmm. And then you want to really transform your life. You need to get my book, first of all, right? Because it's going to help you transform the way you're thinking to what it is you want to do with your life. So you want to do that. And then start speaking positively about what it is you want to do with your life. I don't have any money, right? There's a reason, an excuse for everything. I was a guy who lived in the treehouse, so I know what I'm talking about. But you have to start changing what you're thinking. And go, you know what? I really do want to do something different. Great. Then start speaking about those things you want to do as if it's already happened. It may sound weird, but I did this, and I did it with my wife. That I started speaking about her, praying for her, and believing for her. And you know what? She showed up. And that's happened with a lot of things in our life, is that we just believe in the power of the spoken word, man. Start speaking positive things over your life.
Very cool. So that's the advice that you give other people. Let's go back to that guy who's climbing up into that treehouse for the first time for his first night.
Yeah, wow.
2 questions.
Yes.
If you could go back and give him advice, would you? And second one, if the answer is yes, what advice would you give him?
Well, first of all, the advice I'd give him would be, that's a great question. I've never been asked that before, so I got to think about that for a second.
Take your time.
So, the guy that's crawling up in the treehouse, if my guy today were to go to him, I would tell him to do exactly what I'm saying to you right now. I would take my own advice, because I have to learn this. This is something I've had to learn, right? I learned it. Otherwise, I would be the guy I am today, because I'd go back and I'd tell him the same thing. I'd let him know it's going to be okay, and that you're important, that you matter, your life matters. So I'd give some positive reinforcements on his life, that his life is going to make a difference, and that he is going to make a difference. I would have never thought that I would have touched a couple 100 million people around the world. I would have never thought that I would have done that. But my story has, but I didn't think about that when I was in the treehouse. I'm just going through the pain and the suffering and all alone and all that. So yeah, that part of my life has really changed. So I'd give him the same advice I just gave you.
That actually is wise. Sounds like something that's
genuine.
I guess genuine is the word I'm really looking for. I mean, you gave genuine advice. That's the advice you'd give yourself, which is speaks a lot to your integrity, which I love.
Thank you.
So I'm going to ask you the cliche question. What's the most important thing in life?
Oh, it's my faith. It's my belief that, that I'm a son of God and I'm a Christian man. So the greatest thing for me is my relationship with my with the God that I serve. And the second thing would be my family. My wife is right up there. Right. It's like right next to God. Like, so you have that relationship with, for me. So that's the most important thing for me. This is my faith.
Very cool. Very
Thank you.
cool. So there's I'm sure you've heard the phrase, language creates reality.
That's exactly what we're talking about here, man.
Absolutely. It goes all the way back to actually the ancient Greeks. There's documentation of them using similar types of constructs. Obviously, the words are different, but we believe that the meaning was fairly similar. So,
you have some science on that, by the way?
Some science?
Yeah. If you do, I'd be interested in that. We're getting ready to do a TED Talk here, probably not this year, but next year. And we're doing something that I believe nobody else has done. And I'm looking for content on that.
Oh, boy.
Research, science. Anyways, no, not right now, but you think about that, okay? No problem.
I'm going to have to go back and see if I can even find my graduate work. So
yeah, okay, cool.
But I will look around and see if I can find some research on that. Yes. And I totally lost my train of thought where I was going.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about words and Greek.
Yeah. So language creates reality. So in your experience, the use of language is huge, and that internal dialogue of creating your language is huge. What do you advise to people who are surrounded with negative language that is tearing them down? What are the most important things they need to do?
Get out of that environment. Find a way to remove yourself from the negativity in your environment. If it's in your family, listen, every one of us can change. And we ourselves are the only ones that can change. I already said this before. Us humans can change. If you want to change, you can change. You can change your environment. And I'm going to give you shoot, if I have this quote. It's a quote by he was in Auschwitz. He was in Germany. Oh my gosh! It's one of the greatest quotes ever, right? Here's a guy that lost his mom, right? His dad, his wife, his brother, and his unborn child. Okay, that's 5 people in a short period of time taken from him, and he ended up getting he was a survivor of the Holocaust. 9 days out after he gets out, he writes a book, The Meaning of Life, right? Something like this, and I'm only going from memory, but it says this, that one of the greatest freedoms that the human can have is being able to choose one's own thoughts at any given time. So don't tell me that you can't get out of it. That's just nothing less than an excuse. Here's a guy who lost everything and was in the worst place on planet Earth at any time that we know of in humanity, where people are being burned and killed, etc. He survives and writes those things. So listen, our words carry power. Our thoughts carry power. So you can literally be locked in the prison as he was and survive and come out and think different thoughts. So yes, the only reason that we stay in our negativity is because we want to stay there, Shay.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So I'm kind of clear. You kind of get that. I'm pretty passionate about, you want to change, it's up to you. You got to make that difference in your life. You're the only one that can.
I am completely with you. The only person that can change you
is you. Right.
Spot on. Well, Rocky, I really appreciate you taking some time today. I'm very excited about what you're doing.
Thank you,
I love the stuff that you're working with words. That it brings me back to places that I studied. It's been a few years, but decades ago, graduate school, which is the power of words, the power of language. We really, really can shape our reality, and we can influence reality of others with our words.
Absolutely.
And when we are in a place where we're actually wanting to make a positive difference in the world, we can magnify the power of words significantly. And I love that you're doing that.
And Shay, listen, I want to give this to all of your listeners as a gift. If they go to our site, they can get 10 days to transformational freedom for free.
Cool.
My gift to all of your listeners. I want you to have that. You can just go to samson.life And you can go to rockydetwiler.com. You can search me on Google. I'm not hard to find, but I want you to have that free gift. It's for all your listeners. And
Awesome.
for those people out there, Shay, that are listening in, that really want to transform their lives, our focus is to help people do that. And if there's people that own companies or work at companies and they're really looking for like going to that next level and really transforming their lives, their companies, their cultures, etc., the power of words, in my opinion, is the greatest way to do that. Have them get in contact with us through Samson Life or Rocky Detwiler. My goal is to reach out to people. I love coming on these type of podcasts and radio shows because listen, I was blessed to have a redemption story, and I want to tell it, because if I don't tell my story, right, then other people they don't get a chance to hear it. Maybe something I've said today will go, you know what, that's great, and now we send somebody on a new path in life, a positive new path in life, and that's our goal. So and people reach out to me. I want people to reach out to me, Shay. I really do. Like, how can I help you? So that's my goal. I want to help them, and
awesome.
You got to get in touch with us.
Awesome. We answered one of my questions, which was how to get in touch with you if they were interested, which is awesome.
RockyDetwiler.com. Just go there, find us, research us, go to Samson.life. I'm seriously very easy to find. It's not hard to find me. I own the first several pages of Google, video content and all kinds of things.
We'll make sure that it's on our website too, so that people can easily find it.
Thank you, Shay.
So appreciate all the time today that you spent with me. This has been really enjoyable.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let me wrap up with the same question I always wrap up with. I know a chunk of your story. You've been awesome to share a chunk of your story, but I don't know everything about you. So what is the one question I should have asked you?
The one question you should have asked me, okay, what's your purpose in life? That's a great question.
What's your purpose in life?
Yeah.
Answer the question.
Oh, okay. So So I think our purpose in life is to, we actually have a great purpose overseas we have some we have some people in foreign countries right now out in Fiji and South Pacific. So our purpose is really to inspire and uplift and encourage those individuals through our missions and what we send them. So it's kind of twofold, because I have that purpose, which is a nonprofit side, and then we have the other side, which is kind of the for-profit, working with individuals and companies around the world to help transform their lives with the power of words. That's our purpose.
Awesome. That is very cool. Again, huge thank you for all of your time today. This has been absolutely exciting, and I wish you nothing but the best as you go and help transform the whole world.
Thank you.